Don't go outside. And if necessary, then only during the day. I couldn't believe that I would listen to such words from my mother. I didn't believe that this could happen to us, with our city. And now I'm alone. I live on my 7th floor, shut out from the rest of the world. I have been eating canned food and biscuits for almost 5 months. It's good that Mom is stocked up on vitamins. It seems like I have enough of them. But I really want ordinary food. I would pay any money for a piece of cake. If I had them, of course. At first, I was afraid at night. It was hard to fall asleep to the creatures screaming in the street. Then I was afraid that someone would see a light in my window, so I tightly closed the windows inside with a dark cloth. You ask me how I live in winter? A small iron stove. My father assembled it right here and brought the pipe out into the window. Firewood and coal in the stairwell. Sometimes I go into the neighbors' apartments and break some stools. I sleep at night near the stove. Everything would have been fine. But the day came when I almost ran out of food. 12 cans of canned food, peaches and beans. It was necessary to go to the nearest warehouse of the store. My father brought them from the nearest supermarket. I looked out on the balcony. There was no one downstairs. I haven't seen much of anyone all winter. They seem to have disappeared. I've been thinking about a plan to go outside for a long time. It's good that I knew my city like the back of my hand. I started packing long before dawn. I covered my arms and legs with thick magazines. I wrapped a wool scarf around my neck. It became a little uncomfortable, but I felt somehow safe. I had my father's hammer in my hand and a backpack on my back. I can't carry much food, but I'll probably get enough supplies for a couple of weeks. And in the summer I think it will be easier to find food. I opened the landing door. There was absolute silence. For the first time in a long time I went out into the yard. My heart was pounding wildly. Since there was no electricity for a long time, the entrance door did not close. I opened the door and tried to push it. Something was holding her outside. I put my foot on the protruding threshold and pushed with all my might. It was a dead man. He was lying there looking right at me. His eyes have been frozen for a long time. He did not move. I was about to give up this idea and turn around home, but starving to death was also not a good idea. The yard was empty. Not a single creature on the street, except for those lying under the snow. I didn't know where they had gone. Just before the beginning of winter, they began to disappear a little. I don't know. Maybe they've spread out into the basements. It was scary, but I reached the store with a quiet, careful step. Nobody cleaned the snow on the street, so it was also a big problem. I went in through the broken window, trying not to step on the glass. It was dark inside and there was a lot of snow. I looked around. Cooking, juices, cereals. The shelves were almost empty, and then I found a door leading to the warehouse. There were many times more chances to find something edible there. The door was propped up with something. I leaned my head and listened. Silence. I had no choice. I had to open it. When I opened the door I saw large rows of shelves. There were boxes on them. Lots of boxes. I didn't understand why they didn't take it all out. I tried to fill my backpack. Cereals, canned food, stew as soon as possible. I didn't even look at the expiration date. My legs were shaking and they were pulling me back to my home, to a safe haven. After stuffing my backpack and dropping a couple of packages, I turned around and went to the exit. So that's why this warehouse was closed. There was one of those dead people here. I caught my hand on the shelf rack and it fell right on the dead man. his head shattered into small pieces. I picked up my backpack and ran home. Someone was standing outside my door. By the light of the lantern, I saw who it was. It was my father.